Ah man, it gets crazier every time I do one of these, right? As a mattress, it probably won't be here the next time y'all see me, but another edition of the Blue Moon Extra. Shout out to my guys, True Slayer. Y'all know him. I know him as Josh. You know my guy, True Slayer. Shout out to my dog, C Dude 9590, also known as Chase. Shout out to my guy, Instant Classic, also known as Brandon, the Instant Classic. I don't know how much time we're going to devote to some of these topics. So I feel like I kind of wanted to attack these on my own because I don't know how long I'm going to go. And I don't know everything I'm going to say. And I don't know if in the forum of our live streams, which by the way, there's one coming Tuesday, we will be able to hit all this stuff. So I wanted to tackle it just to make sure I did. One thing I think we're probably going to talk about, but I kind of wanted to talk about it early because I don't want to wait that long, is John Cena's heel promo. And another thing that I wanted to talk about, oh shit, two WWE topics, holy fuck. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the debacle with Jade Cargill. And I might talk about my little theory about Daredevil Born Again at the end. But let's start with John Cena's heel promo. I am somebody. If you watching me right now, you know, there isn't many people in this space in this community. Hell, on the internet, hell, maybe pro wrestling fans in the entire world that hates the WWE like I do. There is nothing that company can do to ever get me excited about anything that they do. I think it's so fucking hard to watch and just terrible. It's an attack on everything that I like about pro wrestling. I always like pro wrestling to look different. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know motherfuckers love shit like DDT with like the comedy and wackiness. I know people love the pageantry of lucha. I like lucha also. I know people like the King of Sport, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know people that like the House of Torture aspect of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know people that like Joshi, whether it's Stardom, whether it's ass kickers like Sari, whether it's kind of cutesy and goofy stuff like TJPW. I know motherfuckers that like all deathmatch wrestling. I know motherfuckers that like all sorts of wrestling. But if you are a wrestling fan and you love the WWE, I don't fucking get you. Because that company is barely wrestling. It is a show about a show that is about pro wrestling. Like motherfuckers, those fans literally tell me that the matches do not matter. Like we're here for the promos and the entrances and all this other stuff. And these motherfuckers that feel that way should just watch television because television is full of stuff like that. I say all that to say, in a vacuum, because I don't care about none of this stuff. In a vacuum, I thought the John Cena promo was kind of brilliant. And I know that all these other people, they're like they're really, beholden to, what's where it's gonna go, what's gonna happen next. And all that stuff. And I don't care. I don't care. Because I don't care about the company. But in a vacuum, I really enjoyed everything until Cody Rhodes' music hits because he's corny and that all was kind of lame. But because Cody Rhodes is lame. I know the one complaint that I keep seeing is it's been a while since I said it. I hadn't seen it since like the day after it happened. So this is me just going from memory. But I didn't say it was memorable because nothing that company ever does is memorable. But I think in a vacuum, it was fantastic. So I seen some people say that he just went out there and cut a "You People" promo. And while I would usually agree with y'all and like, hey, that's corny, blah blah blah. Think about the history of the WWE. Has and think about because I know people wanted Cena to be like a cool heel, and that's cool too, I guess. Like, that's fine. But I feel like if anybody is justified to cut a "You People" promo, it is John Cena, bro. And because that audience has treated this man like dirt for 20 years. 20 years, man. Treated this man like dirt. A lot of the stuff he was saying even outside of kayfabe, was absolutely factual. Like, this motherfucker he literally has been the good soldier that's done everything this company has asked, that has done everything to try and get these people to like him. And it doesn't matter what he does, they still boo. They still turn. They still make everything worse for him. My favorite example of this, and I know if my boy Josh is watching, shout out to him, is when he came back. I want to say that was the 2008 Royal Rumble, and he was a surprise because he had just tore his pectoral, and people didn't know he was back. So his music hit, the crowd goes nuts, and then like a minute later, they all started booing because that's just what you do, right? That's just what you just boo John Cena, even though he gives you everything. And I'm not blaming those people for booing him or anything like that. You're at a pro wrestling show, you can do whatever you want, as long as you're not being disrespectful. I'm just saying, for the character of John Cena, it totally makes sense for him to be like, look, man, I'm tired of trying to please you people. I've been trying to do it for 20 years and nothing is ever good enough. I love the explanation of why he did not change his look. I fucking loved it because he is tired of doing things that you motherfuckers want him to do. You motherfucker, like he brought it up. He was like, as soon as the thing happened with Cody, the first thing you motherfuckers said was, well, what do we get? What's gonna happen? What's next in his story? What do we get? He said, it's not about what you motherfuckers want. It's not about what you get. It's about what I give you. And I was like, yo, is this the same fucking company? That I'm like, yo, I fuck. Because to me, that is so smart, bro. I don't really care what's happening next. I don't really care that a lot of you wanted like this big change from John Cena. For his character, all of this makes sense, bro. For him to be like, I don't care what these people want. These people, like at this point, he even brought it up in the promo where he was like, when the fans started chanting for Cody, and he was like, oh, your new shiny toy, the new guy that you guys all love, until you get tired of him because you're putting your old toy out the pasture, and then the new guy, the new shiny toy. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's right, because eventually these people are going to turn. Well, maybe not, because again, cult. This place is a fucking cult, but. If this was the WWE fan page, and that's one thing that a complaint about this, I don't have a script. A complaint about this I can see people making is that this would have worked better 20 years ago. Yes, all of you people are right, but guess what? We're not 20 years ago. We got to take what we got. We got to take what we got because Vince McMahon didn't want to do that. He was stubborn, didn't want to do that. So for what we have, we got to judge it on what we have now. You know what I mean? And for what we have, it makes sense because now at this point, he's at the end of the road. He's delusional. He told these people, I'm at the end of the road. This is the end. This is literally the end for me. You know what I mean? And he's like, now I want to do things the way I want to do them. You know what I mean? I don't really care about pleasing you people anymore because I'm never going to see you again. You know, after this year, I'm never going to see you again. I love all of that. I'm like, this is all of this is awesome. You know what I mean? And then him going in on why they're stupid, right? And it's typical heel speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, these people just do whatever, the sheep and all that stuff. But it hits so much harder coming from someone like John Cena because his character has never taken an approach like that. Ever. I thought that promo was brilliant. I thought it was absolutely brilliant until Cody Rhodes' music hit. And for the longest, I didn't even see what happened at all. Until about 10 minutes before I went to work on Thursday, when I was like, let me fast forward to when Cody's music hit so I can watch what happened. And essentially, nothing happened. See, I said in our Discord, even when this company is good, it still fucking stinks because Cody Rhodes got the shit beat out of him and bloodied and the whole nine. And then what he does is he just looks at John Cena and he talks like this man didn't try to fucking kill him betray him, and embarrass him for the world to see. He just acts like none of that happened because we gotta tell our story. And John Cena just stands there. You know what I mean? It's all like it's never real, bro. Like even the John Cena stuff, it was kind of real. And then Cody Rhodes comes out there and like people, I've seen people get mad at the line where he goes, "I'm not a heel, I'm not a face, I'm a human being." And I was like, you know what? At this point, this company has already told us the jig is up. And you know, honestly, I don't even get why people got so mad at that. Like just the company themselves even telling us like, hey, this is all the show. Because hey, at this point, if you think it's not, then you're a weirdo. Like you're weird. Like this is 2025. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think that is that big of a deal for people to get as upset as they did. You know what I mean? I think that's a bit odd. I think that's a bit strange. But at this point, after Triple H basically telling us that, hey, this is all kayfabe, and The Rock telling us that, hey, this is all kayfabe, I didn't see a problem with John Cena using that line. And in fact, I think it works for what they were trying to convey. At this point, because they all want him to be healed. Like, you know what I mean? People, the reason why this was a big deal is because people all wanted him to turn. They wanted the music to change. They wanted him to do this. They wanted him to do that. And if he is truly a heel, you don't do any of that. I thought that was awesome. I thought everything about that was because if you really want the desired effect, you don't do any of it. You know what I mean? And I feel like he got the desired effect, man. Like I don't know where this is going because again, I don't give a fuck. And maybe for the people that do, they have a different perspective as me. But in a vacuum, just watching that promo with the history that I have with John Cena, when I kind of gave a fuck, you know what I mean? It works. It works. I thought it all worked until Cody's music hit because he's corny. But yeah, that's just how I feel about that. Because I'm not going to go by point. Just watch the fucking promo. I thought it was incredible. That's just me. But the other reason why I really wanted to come on here was Jade Cargill. I came on here and yelled about Triple H for almost 20 minutes, right? Yeah, was it 20? I can't remember. But I came on here and yelled about Triple H for a while. And I think this kind of just illustrates my point even further. Okay. I think he's in, and shout out to Big Rat because, you know, he thinks that, you know, they're elevating Bianca Belair, and they very well may be. I don't know. But my thing is like, elevate her all you want, but all I want is for her to be in the same tier as someone like Rhea Ripley. She don't have to be the top woman, but there should be times where she's able. She don't even have to be her clean at Mania or anything like that. But there should be times where she's able to. You know what I mean? There should be times where she can. You know what I mean? Where it doesn't feel like a complete departure. Like it doesn't feel like, oh my god, I can't believe she beat fucking. You know what I mean? She should be seen as on the same tier as Rhea Ripley, as Charlotte Flair, and as Becky Lynch. You know what I mean? That's my whole thing. You know what I mean? I don't care if she's not the top woman, because you got more than one top woman. You got more than one top person. All Japan Pro Wrestling did it all through the 90s. You know what I mean? The pillars were the pillars for a reason. Because all of them at any moment could have been the top guy in the company. At any moment. You know what I mean? You know, the revolving door with New Japan in the 2010s. You know what I mean? With Tanahashi, Okada, Naito, Omega snuck in there. In the latter half, like guys like Jay White and motherfuckers like that. All kind of, you know, hung around that main event tier. But if any of those guys were the champion at any time or the top guy at any time, it would have been fine, and like nobody would have been like, oh, what's this guy doing at the top? You get what I'm saying? Oh, and I forgot about Nakamura, him too, but I'm just saying, all those dudes, you know what I mean? Nobody would have been like, oh, what the fuck are they doing? And we didn't look at any of them as like lesser than, like, you know what I mean? Like Okada was definitely the top guy, don't get me wrong, but if there was ever a time where they were like, hey, let's go with this guy as the top guy, and he's beating Okada and things like that. Like, I don't think anyone would bat an eye at any of those guys I said. You know what I mean? Hell, you know, Jay White has a winning record against Okada. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like when things are like that, I feel like Bianca Belair should just be in that in that whole, sphere. And we'll see if that happens, by the way. We'll see. But not here to talk about Bianca. Jade Cargill took a loss to Liv Morgan. I hadn't seen it. She was pinned by Liv Morgan. I was told when this girl was signed, this would be the company that accentuates her positives and hides her negatives and will treat her like a big deal. That's what I was told. That's what I was told by these WWE fans. You motherfuckers told me Tony Khan didn't know what to do with someone like her because she was this, and this. Let's be honest. She cannot wrestle. Jade Cargill cannot wrestle. And I will never sit here and argue that she can wrestle, right? That I will never do that. But I feel like she's no worse than a lot of these other girls that they let wrestle singles matches on TV. You know what I mean? You think Jade Cargill is worse than Chelsea Green? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. These girls that they let wrestle singles matches on TV. She's no worse than any of them, right? No worse. This just shows me Triple H, I've said it before, when it comes to people that look like me, he treats them just a bit differently. Just a little bit different. Just a little bit. She's only wrestled 5 singles matches her entire time in that company. 5. And one of them is a loss to Liv Morgan. A girl who is seen a notch below Charlotte Flair, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley. Seen as a notch below. Whenever she beat Rhea Ripley, it was always these banana peel tactics and, oh my God, she stole it. Oh my God, it's a fluke, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? That's what she was always seen as. But they thought it would be a good idea for this girl, who really doesn't matter, to be the one to beat Jade Cargill. That's what they thought. And this is what I was told that this company would not do with Jade Cargill. That's what you motherfuckers told me. Talk all your shit you want about Tony Khan. I bury AEW routinely. But the one thing that Tony Khan did, the one thing that he did, was made Jade Cargill feel important. She won, I think it was 60 consecutive matches, 50 or 60. I know people are going to be like, oh, she beat jobbers and blah, 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 blah. She looked unstoppable. Ran through Anna Jay, beat Athena. She looked, Ruby Soho. She looked unstoppable, y'all. She didn't just look fucking dominant. She looked like, who the hell is going to beat this woman? And then when she finally lost, her losing to Chris Statlander seemed like a big deal. Simultaneously elevated Chris Statlander. I didn't see it. I don't need to see it. What is this going to do for Liv Morgan? She is what she is. Jade Cargill is. You guys told me that the WWE would elevate her, would take her to heights that Tony Khan didn't take her, because Tony Khan only took her but so high. But her losing to someone who we've already seen their ceiling this early into her singles career contradicts all of that. What Triple H did was single-handedly handcuff 2 black women. Technically 3, but I'm not counting Naomi. We won't count Naomi because Naomi kind of, at this point, she's physically not what she was. I don't think she's the difference maker that she kind of was before, because there was a point in time when people were really behind Naomi. Naomi was always a solid hand for those people. But we won't even include her. We won't even include her. By shackling Jade Cargill with Bianca Belair and essentially not pushing them. You want to say they were the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions? Okay, sure, but they treated those belts like they didn't really matter that much. So who the fuck cares? By handcuffing Bianca Belair to her, it stifled her growth. And by handcuffing Jade Cargill to her, it made it seem like she cannot wrestle singles matches. But you motherfuckers told me that in the WWE, her look will carry her because hello, Jade Cargill, hello, and the fact she can talk and she can talk. Like one of my favorite promos from her was the one when she was and it wasn't in the WWE, by the way, but the one when she was on Dynamite and they just gave her a microphone and she was saying, all these girls, they need me. Everybody eat off me. This company eats off me. That promo exudes what she's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And in this company, because I watch all her highlights. Hello, I don't watch the company, but I watch Jade Cargill's highlights. How you doing? But they never really let her do any of that. All she did was get out of limos and look at people before she decided what show she wanted to go on. That's all she did. Her undefeated streak in AEW made her seem like a unstoppable force of nature. And that's all Triple H had to do with the WWE machine behind her. That's all he had to do. But Liv Morgan pinning her destroys all of that. Destroys it all. If Jade Cargill came to the WWE and she looked like Megan Bayne, this would not happen. And now there's proof in the pudding. Because what good reason would you have to do this? If she looked like Megan Bayne, do you really think this is happening? If she looked like, what's the trash girl with Liv Morgan? The big chick. I don't know her name. Whatever. If she looked like her, this would not happen. I think there's proof that this motherfucker looks at motherfuckers that look like me different. Because I was told by all the pundits when they signed her, she looks like $1 million and Triple H is going to treat her like $1 million. And if you tell me Triple H has treated her like $1 million, I will find you and I will slap the shit out of you because you're lying. And that's my biggest problem with this whole space and us discussing this shit because you motherfuckers like to lie. You motherfuckers like to lie. If it doesn't fit what you like, you motherfuckers like to lie. I do not like the House of Torture. I watch New Japan Pro Wrestling religiously. I am not a fan of these matches, but pretending like they don't work is lying. It's lying. Because you are lying. If you've been paying attention, I'm jumping to New Japan, but I'm using it as an example. If you've been paying attention to New Japan and you still feel like David Finlay hasn't elevated himself, you are lying. You are not telling the truth. You're not telling the truth. If you're watching AEW television and you're acting like Jon Moxley is a net negative to the show, even if you don't like the title reign, you are lying. You don't have to like something. You don't have to like something to acknowledge. I'm not going to say Jon Moxley is bad because it doesn't work. I wouldn't say it works, but it's not it's not a net negative. You know what I mean? I don't like the shit either. I'm ready for them to move on. But to pretend like it's a net negative is a lie. To watch Stardom and pretend like hate is not working, you are lying. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. And to pretend like Triple H cares about black people, especially black women, is a lie. Oh shit, that was supposed to be my dramatic exit. But it's a lie.